Namaste. Short video about the importance of context in yoga practice. Many of us practice yoga. We go to the studio, we bring our mat, we buy our yoga clothes, we do the practice, we sweat, we come out feeling good, we check one thing off our list, and we're set for the day. And that's all good and fine. But then in the course of the day, when life kind of piles up on you and overwhelms you a little, maybe we're a little better able to handle the overwhelm. But at the end of the day, we still feel unfulfilled, disconnected. And I remember the days when I used to teach a lot of yoga, and I would come home more upset than before I left. And my husband at the time then said to me, "Why are you always so irritable? You're doing all this yoga. Shouldn't you be just peaced out?" And that made me pause and question what is missing in my practice, because I was doing a lot of yoga. And what I realized later is context. That's what was missing. Purpose, meaning of my practice. What does it mean? And our context is life. It's our life. It's not just where we live, what we do, who we live with. It's not just our schedules and obligations, but Ayurveda actually says it very elegantly. It says that our life takes place in the body, and our body consists of elements, 5 elements, right? And it's the same elements that the rest of our surroundings is made of. So our life is the place that surrounds us, the air that we breathe, the water that nourishes us, the food that builds our tissues, our bodies, not just the physical food, but the sensory food, everything we smell, touch, hear, taste, all of that, see as well. That's life. That is what is our context, and there's no escaping it. We are in it. Our life takes place in our body that is woven, intricately connected with the world that surrounds us. And so when your practice takes place in that context, in the context of the elements that are happening in nature. For example, in the summer, there's more fire element. In the spring, there's more water element, rainy season, right? When we start to weave our practice into that context, because another thing that Ayurveda says is that health is balance, right? And our life is good when we're healthy, is it not? When we're unhealthy, our life is miserable. We're miserable. The people around us are miserable. So if health is balance, what is this a balance of? Well, when there's too much water elements, such as in the spring and late winter, that's kapha dosha. Ayurveda groups these elements into these 3 distinct constitutional body types. So those of us that are of a body type that is already bountiful in water, we retain water, we have a little extra weight, not necessarily unhealthy, it's just our constitution, right? So in the spring season, when that water accumulates in nature, it also builds up in our body. So our practice should help us balance that, should help us balance that water element and take it down a little, because if we don't, then it continues to build. And what is water? It's mucus in the body. And for that reason, spring is considered the cold and flu season. And those of us that are bountiful in water and have a lot of mucus buildup, we suffer. We suffer from lingering colds. We suffer from this rattling cough and constant congestion. And, we carry our cold, we keep it for a long, long time. But if you practice right, if you practice Ayurvedic yoga, the yoga that is practice in context of what is happening in nature and therefore also in your body, and balances that, then we significantly can lessen the burden of those colds and flus in this spring. And the same goes for other seasons and for all body types. So Ayurvedic yoga is the yoga that weaves your body into nature effortlessly, so that we are not affected by weather, by times of the day, by times of the year, by the foods we eat so much, by the impressions we consume. We can balance out those elements, gross and subtle, in food, physical and mental, with our practice, so that we can live our life effortlessly and harmoniously with with our surroundings, with our commitments, and with our schedules, and everything else that comes with life. That's why for me, to just go to a studio and sweat it out any time of day, rain or shine, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because it doesn't always make sense for my body to be losing water when it's already very dry outside, as in the fall, for example. Okay, so that is the gist of Ayurvedic yoga. It's a yoga that weaves you into the context of life. And incidentally, that's what Ayurveda means. Ayur means life, and Veda means science. So Ayurvedic yoga is yoga that is practiced in the context of science of life. And in this way, your practice gains a purpose, a meaning, and it truly begins to harmonize you into the greater picture. Weave the tapestry of your particular body and mind, the way you were born, the way you came here, with all your karmas, with all your inclinations and propensities. But rather than having this negative connotation of, oh, it's my karma, instead, Ayurvedic yoga helps you skillfully weave that thread of your particular life into the greater tapestry that is the world of which we are a part. So everybody does it differently, but make your practice a sacred ritual. And I will show you just an example of how I do it. For me, I practice a mantra in my meditation that is 11 names of the Divine Mother. And Divine Mother is nature. Divine Mother is the one whose child every one of us is. And so there are 11 names according to scripture, Durga Saptashati, and I learned those names, and for me it's very beautiful. And so my yoga practice always has 11 moves. Whatever I choose to do, whether it's 11 sun salutations or 11 moon salutations or 11 warriors, 11 twists, whatever it is. In the morning today, this morning, I choose to practice some twists, because twists help us digest and eliminate. And digestion and elimination is a good way to start your day with. So I will do 11 variations of twists according with the 11 names of the Divine Mother. And mind you, for me, each name has its own characteristics, its own qualities, its own uniqueness about it, and I try to infuse my variations with those qualities. So, it's maybe too much to share in this one video, but you can come along for these twists anyways, and you don't have to know the names. But it's a beautiful 11 move sequence that is, it's gonna come to me intuitively because I do it every day, these 11 moves. So it's going to come intuitively, but you will benefit by stoking your digestion and promoting a healthy elimination to start your day with. So come along and please enjoy. Speaking of nature, the context of my practice is nature. I try to do as much yoga outside as I can. But I do teach Ayurvedic yoga at my studio yoga clinic in Ann Arbor, Michigan. If you're local to the area, check it out. Come along with us. And otherwise, stay here and let's enjoy the ride. Let's start with the legs wide apart. Come to your breath. And begin. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Just to sync the breath and movement. Again. Last time. Now toes out, heels in, bend the knees, come to a squat, and we begin. First twist. Inhale to one side, arms overhead. Exhale to center. Again, other side. This is Jayanti, first name. She's the happy one. Mangala is the second one. She's full, generous. Kali is the warrior. Bhadrakali is a lightning bolt carrier. Kapalini is a mind purification. Now we start the twisting. Hands on your thighs. Arms straight. Take a few breaths here. Switch sides and a nice big squat. Kapalini, Kapala is a skull, so she's a mind purificator. So we'll take a little Kapalabhati purification breath for a stronger stance. Keep the squat, or you could just stand up. I'll keep the squat. Fingertips on the shoulders, and it's some strong exhalations. Okay, inhalations, natural. We'll do 7. Rest. And now for deeper twisting. Durga. Exhale, one hand down in front of your face. Nice and big. Come up to the fingertips. Stay tall. Feel how spacious this is. Inhale, come up. And other side. Shama, one arm behind, the same twist, but now reach for thigh or hip behind you. Drop your head down. Kshama is forgiveness. Forgive and forget. Let go of memories that do not serve us. When you're ready, come on up. And forgive the other side. Come up. Next is Shiva. She's a strong one. Strong twist. Strong because some balancing work is involved. Dhatri is the nourisher. Dhatri is the one that accompanies you on your last journey. Generous, supportive, and very soft. She takes you down the river on your last journey, the river of life. Softly come up. Swaha, she presides over the fire offering, which is the offering of your life to the bigger world of which we are a part. So she's the sun. Fire offering is done at the end of every practice, so it is a little fiery, a little more effort. Swaha. Swada, the moon part that washes away the ashes of the fire offering. Typically, a back stretch. And we conclude with Namaste. Just surrender the fruits of your practice to the well-being of the greater world of which we are a part. This concludes my sacred ritual today, my practice that has woven me into the context of my life. And I invite you to come along with us and weave yourself into the context of your beautifully unique life in a way that is meant for you and that is good for you, so you can practice right for your type. Check out the Ayurvedic Yoga offering and an Ayurvedic Yoga blog post on calmaccelerator.net. We practice this and much, much, much more in our programs. So please come to the link below, Ayurvedic Yoga at calmaccelerator.net. And I hope to see you there. Namaste.